This upcoming week marks Catholic Schools Week, celebrating the benefits of a Catholic school education. One of the many clubs offered at Pope Francis Prep School in Springfield is Pope Prep Productions, which is very familiar to students during the school year whenever an event is scheduled that merits a video. All of their productions can be found on their own YouTube channel. This past week, the group stepped out of their usual comfort zone to put together their very first Chalice of Salvation Mass. Steve Piltonic reports.
It's 7:20 a.m. at Pope Francis Preparatory School. Inside, the Pope Prep production crew is preparing the daily morning announcements, which are just one of the many events they produce throughout the academic year. Daryl Jeffries, the school's director of technology, who oversees the group.
Pope Prep Productions came about mainly as a result of COVID. We needed a way to get all of our events out to the masses. So we learned how to broadcast on YouTube, starting with just one camera and a single person just reading the announcements, and it grew into multiple cameras, multiple people, scripts, and having graphics as well.
Any student can join the club. All one needs is an interest and desire to learn. Everything produced at Pope Prep Productions, whether it's on site or in the field, is student-run.
All of the productions that we do, I try to have very little to do with it. I'm basically the adult in the room for most of what happens. I believe very much in learning by doing, so if someone shows an interest in doing something, I say, go ahead and try it. Try to do it. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Might also want to try an over-the-shoulder shot when they're doing the reading. I don't know how that would look. One of the philosophies that I have for this club is basically whatever happens was meant to happen. So there's no pressure on them. Whatever happens, that's the way God wanted it to go down, so that's what we do and we move on.
In addition to the announcements, Pope Prep Productions produces theater productions, student masses, and special events like graduation ceremonies and various music performances. Most of the home sporting events are covered, from soccer in the fall to basketball and hockey in winter to baseball, softball, and lacrosse in spring. They even broadcast many select away games. Senior Andrew Sarrazina is the director of sports broadcasts. He started in the club as a junior after responding to a request Jeffrey made during a class.
He said, we got a game, I think it was on a Saturday, if anybody wants to come, and I was the only one crazy enough to show up. So I came and it sold me. I absolutely love doing it. So I'm like, let's take this and let's make it better. Let's make it better than just a camera on the field, and that's really what we've done.
The club made an investment earlier this year, adding a portable cart, desktop computer, bags, and other field equipment. The biggest challenge he and the production crew usually face is away games.
We don't always know where we're going to go and what we're going to be getting ourselves into, so we might not always have the resources we think we're going to have, power, Wi-Fi, whatever it may be, so it's always having to adapt and overcome. And I'm happy to say that I don't think there's been a game we haven't been able to do yet with any challenge that we faced.
A.J. Gonzalez is the voice of the Cardinals.
Trying to work it in for two, no, rim, rebound, and Martin takes it in and puts it in for two.
All the sports are live streamed and archived on the Pope Prep Productions YouTube channel. It's great for parents of athletes or alumni who want to catch a game but can't make it in person. Senior Chris Sitnick is the director of all productions in-house, as well as anything else around the building not related to sports. She started her sophomore year also after being hooked during a Jeffrey class.
One of the assignments was to show up and for at least 10 or so times and learn the different jobs. And then I kind of just kept going with it.
As the primary director, Sitnick spends a lot of time outside of classes trying to perfect her skills.
This is purely a hobby of mine. I find it so much fun to learn different things, to be able to try new things, to be able to use our equipment and be able to mess up and then go, well, how do I fix that, and learn how to fix it so I'm able to understand the technology more.
Good morning, Pope Francis. Please stand for prayer and pledge the flag. I now invite up Owen for prayer.
Isabella Clarkson Perez is one of the 10 hosts of the morning announcements, which are a hodgepodge of patriotism, prayer, and information.
Pope Francis will be collaborating with St. Mary's of Westfield to a blood drive challenge.
Students prepare scripts for the teleprompter, choose graphics, and run the board. Sitnick said morning announcements are by far the most challenging event she directs, in part because time is of the essence.
It's early in the morning, everyone's tired. We're all wanting to get everything done as fast as we can because we don't have as much time as we would a mass or a different event. I have from 7:20 until 7:50 to get everything done in time. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on the day.
As with any live show, anything can go wrong during the broadcast.
Sometimes our equipment might just decide not to work one day, and we have to learn how to adapt and find different programs to use.
On this Wednesday morning, whatever happens was meant to happen, as Mr. Jeffrey would say when the screen between cuts goes black.
Today there was an issue, but we figured out what the issue was. We just hit the wrong button, and we were able to fix it.
That's all, Pope Francis. Have a splendid day.
As soon as the announcements are over, any glitches are an afterthought, and attention turns to the next broadcast. While the students produce their own masses during the year, this is their first venture at producing a Chalice of Salvation Mass. They showed they were up for the challenge.
Doing the Chalice of Salvation is something that we really wanted to do since we've been here. It's challenging to do something live, but most of the events that we do are live anyway.
Bishop William Byrne was the main celebrant at the Mass, which served as the kickoff to Catholic Schools Week.
Today we had a third camera, which we're not used to having, and our director, Chris Sitnick, really tried to take advantage of that to attempt to show the audience. We wanted to make sure that we followed the bishop as he moves around to do his homily. So Chris is very good at watching everything that's going on and trying to stay focused on getting the best shot.
Camera 1 and 2, follow him around. Henry, you're going to stay like that. Can you move more to your right, though?
Sitnick summarized her crew's first Chalice performance.
Everyone worked well, everyone did great. I was very happy with how everyone behaved. It was just really nice. I liked that I was able to have 2 people per camera because they were able to switch off and receive communion, so that was really good. I was very happy that we had enough people to do all the jobs that were needed when they were needed.
At the request of Jeffrey, Sitnick and Sarah Zena have been asked to take more of a backseat role this year to groom Caleb Gilmet, a freshman who will be taking over the directing roles each has held for the past 2 years. While broadcasting doesn't figure prominently in the future plans of either seniors, both have enjoyed their time with Pope Prep Productions.
I would like to be a math teacher, so I'm kind of interested in seeing if I can get other kids, if I'm a teacher, if I can get other kids to enjoy it as much as I did when I was here.
I might do it as a recreation thing. I know the top school I'm looking at has a program for this, so I'm really excited. But my major, I'm looking to get into aviation technology. I want to be a pilot.
Both look forward to continuing their learning experience with Pope Prep Productions until graduation, and the baton will be passed to underclassmen who will follow in their footsteps. For Reel to Reel, I'm Steve Kiltonic.